You can go back and forth if you want to, but that's two places I don't ever want to go. It's back and forth. I'm here to tell you something that you may already know, but you may not have necessarily heard it quite like this. As far as I'm concerned, if you find yourself in an abusive or a toxic relationship, it's about your survival. There's a journey that you embark on where you're going to have to save your own life. I feel like there's a lot of, things in life that we go through where you're put in a position to have to save your own life. And this is one of those. If you're in an abusive relationship, toxic relationship, whether that's with a narcissistic individual or not, if it's having a negative effect on you, your energy, your well-being, your state of mind, your ability to rest, your ability to create, your ability to provide, your ability to, live a peaceful and joyful life, it's simple. It's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. You're going to have to figure out what it is that you can do to save your own life. That's really the bottom line. I don't know if you ever heard this saying before. The thing that'll make you laugh will make you cry. It's kind of like that. And my interpretation of that is you're dealing with just a series of contradictions. And I feel like that's what we all are as people. Like, that's what makes us interesting. That's what makes us colorful. But you have to use your wisdom and your experience and your understanding and your ethics to determine whether there's malice behind that or not, because we all contradict ourselves. That's what we do. We say one thing and we do another. That's what people do. And we have the freedom to change our minds, Sometimes we feel like this, and then there's times where we feel like that. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's what makes us human. And I'm comfortable with that. Like, I'm cool with that. I don't have no problem with that. But when you're looking to manipulate, when you're looking to do harm, when your objective is to keep somebody off balance and just to cause somebody pain and anguish, like, that's a reflection of that particular individual. I don't own that. I don't receive that, and that's important too. And I'm in a season right now of learning my authority more and more, knowing my authority, not asking for permission where there's no need for it, calling my own shots as much as I can, putting myself best into positions to improve my quality of life and to continue to be successful and to grow and to really set a standard, set the tone, and make positive change. And for me right now, that starts with me more and more knowing my authority and being comfortable in that authority. Learning to find comfort in that authority and owning it and really walking in it. Walking in my authority, knowing who I am. Knowing where I belong. Knowing who I want to be. When you're dealing with a toxic and narcissistic person, it's just a lot of conflict. Again, contradictions. A lot of ups and downs and downs and downs and downs and downs. It's definitely, you're definitely going to have more downs than ups when you're dealing with a toxic or narcissistic person. Because you're not in it for the same reasons and you're not doing the same things. You're not. We make the mistake of conducting ourselves with them based on the love bomb phase. It's like we're always trying to get back to that, when really that was just an act, like a play or like a movie or something. You know what I mean? It's a performance. Imagine spending a significant amount of time, imagine spending a season of your life pursuing a performance. It's deep. I can speak about it intelligently because I've been in a situation where I had to save myself. Obviously, no great man or great woman does anything completely on their own. But you know exactly what it is that I mean. Like, it had to start with me the same way it's going to have to start with you. It has to start with you. No one can save you for you without you. You know, so it has to start with you, and you have to want it, because it's not going to always be easy. It's not going to always be good. It's not going to always be comfortable. It's not going to always make sense. It's going to be counterintuitive. It's going to go against your better judgment. You may have to kind of activate that part of you that comes alive when you don't necessarily feel safe. You know, when you got moves to make, you have to go into what I call that self-preservation mode. Sometimes it's going to feel unnatural because this is someone that you once felt like you were building a connection with. But we have to keep it in perspective. As you know, we are looking to pursue the performance. That's what we're doing. We're connected to the performer. It's almost like when you watch a film and you start to see that actor the same as you would like the real person. It's like you're confusing a role that they played with the person that they are in real life. Understand that these are roles that these people are playing, even down to the look, how much they weigh, how they dress in the film. And accents. Accents are deep because it's hitting a different part of the senses. You know what I mean? It's something that you're hearing. You're hearing them speak a certain way. So you connect that with them. The same way that you're listening to the sound of my voice, although this is authentically me. Like, this is my walk around voice. You know what I mean? This is how I am all day long. This is the sound of my voice. But when you're watching a film, that's not necessarily how they speak or how they talk. So if you happen to come across them like in your day-to-day walk-in life, you're not meeting the character that they played in the film. You're meeting the actual person. So think of it that way. It's like we're connected to and in pursuit of the actor that we got in the love bomb phase. But here we are in month 3, month 4, month 6, month 12. And we're trying to reconcile the performance from the love bomb phase with the actual person because the facade is falling. Their true colors are starting to show. Don't waste your time. Don't waste a season in your life. Don't waste an era. Don't waste another moment in time pursuing the performance, pursuing the actor, because that's what it is that we do. I want to talk about the harm that you cause yourself when you accept the Hoovers. I want to talk about the detriment behind it. I want to talk about the manipulation behind the Hoover. I want to talk in this video more about the nonverbal communication. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a physician. I'm not a clinician. I'm not a doctor. All right. I'm none of those things. I'm just a woman who is sharing of her experiences with you. And I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know based on my own personal experience. Anytime and every time that you accept the Hoover, it's like you're giving the toxic, abusive, or narcissistic person a free pass. What you are communicating to them through your actions non-verbally is that you excuse the behavior. You're giving them a clean slate. In their mind, they get to start over from scratch in a sense. It's funny how, we take what we want from situations. It's funny how we can interpret things the way that we want. We may be all speaking the same language, the same way, again, you're hearing the sound of my voice and I'm speaking English in this video, right? Based on someone else's perspective, their vantage point, their point of view, their level of experience, their objective for me, what they hope to get. They can interpret what I'm saying to be whatever it is that they want. Even though I'm speaking English, I tell people all the time, I'm going to put the information out to the best of my ability, but I can't be held responsible for the way that you receive it. If I'm being honest and I'm being open for communication's sake, and I'm not deliberately looking to harm you, and you can tell that based on my energy, I can't be held accountable for how you feel and how you receive the information. That's not my way to carry. You are allowing the toxic or narcissistic or abusive person in your life to continue on that course of action with every Hoover that you accept. And I understand why we do it, because I've been guilty of it. I've done it. That's why I can talk about it. And I feel comfortable to talk about it, because I've accepted the Hoovers too. I didn't pass the Hoover test the first time around. You know what I mean? But I'm a trial and error learner anyway. So that's how I learn. You're telling them that it's cool. You're telling them that you're good. You're telling them that you're good with what they're doing when you accept the Hoover. And again, I understand why you did it. It's because you want them to see value in you. You want them to see your greatness. You want them to see you the way that you see you. I completely understand. You feel invested. You don't want to start over with someone new. You're actually in your feelings about this person. You're actually in your bag about this person. You want it to work out. You want it to come together. You want them to care about you. And you want them to love you. But it was never about that. It was never about that. And it's so confusing. The love bomb phase, it throws us for a loop, especially when they pull out all the stops, especially when they lay it on thick. But that's what it's supposed to do. Dazzle you. It's supposed to befuddle you. It's supposed to leave you discombobulated. It's supposed to leave you confused and bewildered. That's what it is. And that's such intense supply for them. It's always like you're moving around the relationship with blurry vision, but they can see exactly what's going on. You're blurry the whole time. Like you spend your whole time within a toxic and narcissistic or abusive relationship trying to figure out what it is. Drop it down in the comment section. Let me know if your experience was any different or if it was the same as I'm describing in this video. Let me know that so I know that I'm on point. But everything is always blurry. You have brief moments of clarity. I live in Vegas, baby. It's like a casino. They give you just enough to keep you playing. But the house always wins. The house always wins. That's the game. It's all a game, and it always was. And it just seems so crazy because they seem to be enjoying the love bomb, but really, they're going to use that same energy to get back at you. They're going to punish you for the fact that they had to love bomb you, especially if you're high maintenance, especially if you're strong, especially if in the beginning, you know your worth and you're kind of resistant to the games that they're playing. You're kind of resistant to them. They're using other sources of supply to fuel this love bomb in your direction. So that's what's happening. So because they have to exert that energy that they're getting from others, they're going to punish you for it later. And they're going to end up doing the same thing with you. You'll be fueling someone else's love bomb. That's how it works. Toxic and narcissistic people don't generate their own energy. That's why they need you. That's what they need you for. And they're punishing you. So it's like they're two-faced. They're smiling in your face. They're looking to seduce you because they're trying to get to your emotions. And one of the quickest ways to do that, physical touch, physical intimacy, and looking to create what feels like a bond. But it's not real. Again, it's just a performance. And this isn't about, competition. or anything like that. This isn't about blame or putting anybody down. I'm just, letting you know exactly what it is that you can anticipate. And if you're in the middle of it right now, I'm kind of breaking down what it is that you're going through because I've been there. So I know. It's just about giving you the truth. It's just about letting you know so that you can make your next move your best move. Find your way into no contact, because as we know, no contact is money, and it always will be. The universal currency when it comes to toxic, narcissistic, and abusive relationships. No contact, that's where you want to be. And you want to get there and you want to stay there. All right? Every time you accept a Hoover, you're excusing what they're doing. You're excusing it. They use that as a justification. They use you coming back to rationalize what it is that they're doing, and they're never going to change. They don't want to change. Like, why would they change? They don't feel that there's anything wrong with what it is that they're doing or how they're operating. Even if it is dangerous, reckless, and irresponsible on every level. This is the way that they're choosing to live. It's a conscious choice that they make. But it doesn't mean that you have to participate. It doesn't mean that you have to be entertaining it. Like, you don't have to be a part of it. Just because they're choosing this life for themselves, don't allow them to choose this life for you too. Because if you're watching this video, it's very highly likely that you're questioning it and you don't want to live like this. Like, you're tired of the hurt. You're tired of the lies. You're tired of the cheating. The dishonesty. You're tired of feeling used. You're tired of feeling empty. You're tired of laying next to somebody but feeling like you're by yourself. You could do that by yourself and be happier. And that's what you want. But you got to get this negative energy off of you. You have to find your way out. You have to create that distance between you and them. Because that's the only way that you can take your power back. And you're not doing it for them. We're going to be strong and it's going to feel like, we're kind of being cutthroat. Again, self-preservation mode. But we're really doing it with love in our hearts. It's just that now we're going to give ourselves that love instead of giving it to them. We're moving with strength and with dominance, but we're doing it with love in our hearts. And we're going to give ourselves that grace that we were giving them. We're going to give ourselves that love and that energy that we were giving to them. Because all they're doing is taking that energy from you and spreading it elsewhere. That's like, swiping your car or tapping your car to fill up somebody else's tank, but you never fill up your own gas tank. But you keep driving. Eventually, what's going to happen? Your car is going to run out of gas. This is simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. And metaphors like that help keep me accountable, help keep me honest. That's how I make my way through life. I try to keep things simple, but understanding that it's not going to always be easy. And a lot of times doing the right thing, especially as you elevate and you progress in life, a lot of times doing the right thing is not easy and it doesn't always feel good. And I think sometimes we make the mistake of thinking that telling the truth or making the right decision or taking the right course of action is always going to feel good. We're going to always get the reassurance of it feeling good. And that's just not true. Because again, we're human, we're fallible, we change our minds, we're imperfect. But we're also looking to grow and break habits. So a lot of times, a lot of the things that we did or are used to doing that felt good in the past didn't work. So we're trying something else. So in the midst of you trying something else, it's going to feel a little unnatural. And that's okay. It's going to feel, but within yourself, based on your wisdom, your discernment, that this is the right choice. We have to do something different this time. I've said this in the past, but the most respect that you'll ever get from a toxic and narcissistic person is when you leave and when you stay on. That's when they value you the most. That's when you have the most impact on that situation, on that abusive situation, on that toxic situation, is when you leave and when you stay gone. Blocked. No communications, no middlemen, no notes, no emails. None of that. It can't happen because they got you. They know they still have you when you do that. This is one of those situations where you're going to have to save yourself. Like, the price that you're paying for what you're getting is way too high. This is not worth the price of admission. And you can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can't afford it spiritually. I can't afford it mentally. I got goals to reach. I have an overhead. I have responsibilities. I have obligations. I have people that are counting on me. I have people that are looking to me. I have people who have a healthy expectation of me for me to do great things. So I can't afford to pay that price of giving them my energy, my pleasure, my closeness, my warmth, my insight, my love, my kindness, and my care. Only for them to take that energy, funnel it out elsewhere to somebody that I never even met and would never even want to be in connection with. Because that's another thing you got to keep in mind. You're inviting outside energies into your life when you continue to entertain these abusive, toxic. You're inviting outside energies into your life when you continue to entertain these toxic, abusive, and narcissistic people. You're getting in your own way. The same things that'll make us laugh will make us cry. The very thing that you think you want is the thing that's doing you harm. It's blocking your blessings. It's blocking your prosperity. It's having a negative effect on your future and on your energy. And you are missing out on the real love that you say that you want. But clearly you're not ready. Again, I'm not here to beat you up. This ain't tough love. Because I don't think you need that. You're a grown man. You're a grown woman. I'm here for you. Right? But clearly you're not ready. Because if you're continuing to entertain somebody who is an actor and a performer, and you can't reconcile the fact that they don't see it for you and they're not about you, but you're continuing to chase them, which is exactly what they want you to do. Let me tell you something. When you chase an abusive, toxic, narcissistic person, it's everything in the world to them. That is exactly where they want to be. That's exactly where they want to be, in a place where you're chasing them. Because while you're chasing them, they're giving you their back. Because you're watching them chase and pursue and vet and love bomb someone else. You're never the only one. Never. You're never the only one. You cannot continue to accept the Hoovers unless you are willing to accept the fact that you're giving them a clean slate every time, and you're communicating non-verbally to this toxic, narcissistic, or abusive person that you approve of their treatment of you. You like it. That's what you're telling them. Give me more. That's what you're telling them. Give me more. Keep it coming. I like it. I want it. It feels good. Don't stop. That's what you're telling them when you accept the Hoovers. I understand. But you got to make a change. You got to make a change about it. Because you continue to accept the Hoovers, but they're respecting you less and less and less and less. The love bombs, like, you're not even getting those now because it's no point. They know that you are on to them. They know that you're starting to figure them out because they keep hurting you and breaking you down and beating you down and throwing you away like yesterday's trash. Stepping on you like a cigarette butt and twisting. You know what I mean? They're stepping on you like a cigarette butt, putting your fire out. And you keep calling them back. You keep coming back. You keep seeking them out. You're trying to talk sense into them. It's like you're speaking a language that they don't even understand. They're not comprehending you. They can't interpret. They can't make sense of what you're saying. You ever notice when you're talking to a toxic or narcissistic person, you're speaking to them, you're looking them in the eye, but they're looking right through you like they don't understand? I vividly and distinctly remember having moments like this in my most recent toxic and narcissistic setup. We would be having conversations and she did not understand what it was that I would have to break it down to the nth degree, like I would like one of my nephews or something. I would have to break down what I was saying to minute levels. And these were things that you would think a person at that big age would be able to understand and comprehend. But that's because they don't connect the dots the same way that you and I do. The objective is not the same. But you keep accepting that Hoover though. And you let me know how that works out for you. Because they're not going to change. They're going to continue doing the same things And they're putting you in danger in the process. They're not valuing you. They don't care about your spiritual energy. They don't care about your ability to continue to work, make a living, keep your body together, work out. It takes a lot of spiritual energy, man, to get yourself into the gym, to be watching what you eat. You kind of got to be in a positive place. You're never going to be able to accomplish your goals to your fullest potential as long as you continue to participate in this game with this actor, with this performer. If you want to be an actor, like, go to Hollywood. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm like, pay me for my pain. Like, pay me for my pain. So you may as well start accepting auditions. You may as well get an agent. You might as well start taking meetings if you want to act. Go to Hollywood, because that's exactly what you're doing. But you're not the star. Until you decide to take your power back and find your way into no contact, you're not in a starring role. You're just, an extra. The toxic or narcissistic person in your life, they got the leading role until you decide otherwise. So it's going to be up to you to figure out what it's going to take for you to be able to save yourself, educate yourself, create distance, first and foremost. Create distance around yourself so you can begin to think clearly. Because as long as you are in a toxic, unhealthy environment, you're not going to be able to begin healing in that place. You're not going to begin to see your value in that place. You're not going to be able to reconnect with your worth in that place. And you're excusing their behavior. And they love it. And now you're in this, pseudo polyamorous relationship that you never signed up for with an actor who is performing, and they're putting on an even better performance for the new supply. Because you're not even really fun anymore. You're not putting up a fight. You're not resisting them. You're chasing them. Like, they don't see value in you. They're looking at you like with the ick. You know what I mean? Like, they're not connected to you. They're not feeling the feelings that you're feeling. They're not attracted to you. They don't want you. They could take you or leave you. And whatever they do want about you at this phase where you're chasing them and accepting Hoovers, it's all superficial. They want you for your resources and what you can do for them, but they don't care about you as a person. That's just what it is, based on my experience. But it ain't never too late to turn it around. But you have to come to a place where you're okay being out on that island by yourself. Because isolation and wilderness is what you really need. Because that's what's going to help eventually get you into no contact. But you have to accept it for what it is. And you have to accept that you're ready to move on. You have to accept that the next time that they discard you, that you're going to let them do that. Take advantage of the discard. That's a word to the wise. Take advantage of the discard. Rejection for your protection. It's simple, but it's not easy.